equity, and opportunities. Access to capital.
As we now get into April, it is another month, Financial Literacy Month, in fact, and we bring back a recent guest that proved so popular first time around. We want to talk to him again. James Wilkerson is kind enough to join us again, 20-year veteran of the U.S. Navy, a commander in the Navy, longtime financial planner as well, and has the ability to just talk straight about the idea of financial literacy and the importance of it. I warned you, my friend, that we'd put you in the Rolodex after that first appearance. We're glad you're back with us. Thanks for making time with us.
Thank you for having me. And again, I love talking about the things that we can do to put people in a better financial position. Why?
You do smile brightly when you do that. Why do you enjoy it so much?
The reason is that most people are really destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They make money, spend money, but they don't know how to protect and grow money. For example, most people spend too much time looking back at the past mistakes, things that they didn't do well. And so I have to remind them, it's kind of like a rearview mirror in a windshield. The rearview mirror is there simply to remind us of where we come from. So there may have been some bumps in the road along the way, but there may have also have been some good things along the way that we can leverage as we look to the future. Now, what's in front of us is far better than what's behind us. So we have to be forward-facing and leaning forward with an expectation that things are going to get better.
And to that end, then the windshield has the wants and the needs and an open map, and you could drive anywhere you want. Help us chart that course. What should we be thinking about?
So the very first thing that we have to do is learn how money works. When we talked the last time, we talked about the fact everybody wanted more, but they don't know how to get more.
Yeah.
So we have to make sacrifices. So I'm going to sacrifice some of my wants to take care of some of the things that I really need. Everybody should be saving money because it's not if it's going to happen. It's just when is it going to happen, because bad things happen to good people all the time. And if you don't have a contingency plan in place for those things, when those bumps in the road occur, you find yourself facing a bigger financial setback.
And to that end, there's a difference, is there not, between being prepared for a setback and fearing that setback?
Without a doubt. Unfortunately, most people operate from the perspective of fear because they have never done anything like starting to really to invest or to save on a scale that put them in a position to do stuff that they never thought possible. They're a little nervous, fearful, on edge about it. And so we have to get past that fear. How do we get past that fear? Well, we leverage the people we know who have experience in that arena. There's somebody in our lives who have had a degree of success that they could share those success stories with us to help us to navigate that minefield, because we're afraid to get blown up. And when it comes to your money, you can't afford to make those kind of mistakes because those setbacks can set you so far back that you never recover.
How do you bring this up in just friendly conversation? You're going over to a friend's house, you know, for a meal or whatnot. Is this something people are intimidated to talk about, or are they glad to have an ear from somebody who knows the road?
It's funny you would say that, because this is one thing that I found. The people who don't have money don't like to talk about money. The people who have money talk about it because they want to get more of it. And so that's a conversation that has to happen at the dinner table in every household, because it's important for parents to groom their children to start thinking about a plan for success. And part of that narrative is let's start at the very beginning. You know, as a child growing up in Mississippi, I was an entrepreneur. I cut yards, I sold sugar cane, I sold frozen cups. I did whatever I could because I wanted to have my own. And so in the course of having your own, you need to also have a plan to protect and grow your own. So I tell people, don't despise a small beginning. It might be $25 a week that you could put away. But if you did that for a year, that's $1,200. If it's $50 a week and you did it for a year, now you're sitting on $2,400. And you do the math behind it, at the end of the day, it could be a very significant portion of a plan to put you in a great position. And I say that because here's what I found out last week. I was at a dealership in Baton Rouge, and I asked one of the salespeople, what's the average car payment individuals are buying vehicles for? He said $1,000 monthly. $1,000. On top of that, it was not a 48-month. It was not a 60-month. This is for 72 months. And so that tells me that a lot of time needs and wants are not properly identified. You needed transportation. You just wanted something that was fancy.
Right, shiny. And 72 months is an awful long time to be.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time. Very long time.
Looking over your shoulder, I'm reminded of your military history. And you talked about people who are excited to talk about money, people who are a little reluctant to. When you are in a military setting, there is often a rigidly structured set of circumstances in place for your day-to-day lives. We have a lot of our viewers are hoping to become veteran-owned business owners, but they are coming from a different perspective than those who've been in civilian life their entire time. Are there different sort of pathways that you find that people in the military either can take or they're a little reluctant to take based on the fact that this windshield is all theirs to drive around in?
Coming from a military background, most of those individuals have been exposed to writing a vision and executing a plan. Mm-hmm. So it's part of the narrative that they operate in. So for most people who are not from a military background, they have to work on that part of it, because anything can be accomplished, but you got to do it in bite-sized morsels. Mm-hmm. And so you begin with the end in mind. I always tell people, most people get on an airplane to get to a destination. So most people want to get somewhere, and they're starting here, but they don't know how to get there.
Right.
So in order to get there, they have to talk to people who have some experience. So every business owner should talk to somebody in that business arena to get some guidance on how they got there. You'll be amazed that the people who are successful in certain areas, they love to talk about what they do. Mm-hmm. They're waiting to share that information. So those individuals should be tapping into those resources of people who are doing what they want to do. And I'm guaranteeing you that there will be somebody who wants to share that information with them.
Well, we enjoy your enthusiasm and your excitement for sharing information as well. Thanks for being with us again. James Wilkerson.
Thank you so much, Scott. You have an incredible rest of your weekend. I hope everybody takes advantage of Financial Literacy Month and become
The Marion County Public Health Department wants to thank our